Welcome to Traxos, Scourge of Kroog. As far as our opening hand goes, we've got 2 lands, treasure map, and some really good cards. We've got Batterskull, we got Mere Battlesphere. Yeah, we'll keep on this one. I kind of like this. You know, our mana ramp is 6 with the Dreamstone Hedron, so it's not the best thing to be keeping on opening hand like this, but yeah, I like Batterskull and I like a Mere Battlesphere, so hopefully we can have some fun today. But yes, welcome to some Traxxas. Hope you're excited. And also, before we get going any further, this is a Good Morning Vietnam video, so you have been warned. All right, so our opponent's going to go for Caustic Caterpillar, the little bug that can dismantle our entire deck at just an activation speed. So we'll do so. We'll use our universal solvent on that caterpillar. Let's see. Probably just gonna go ahead and lead off with the Ink Moth Nexus, and then anything else. Yeah, we'll still end up going for universal solvent. If they want to pop that pretty quick, that's perfectly fine for us. Anything else? We're gonna pass turn over to opponent. We're playing Traxos. Trample. Traxos enters the battlefield tapped and does not untap during your untap step. Then, whenever you cast a historic spell, untap Traxos. Playing gets Meren. Whenever a creature you control dies. There we go. Let's get it popped over. There we go. You get an experience counter. Then at the beginning of your end step, choose target creature card in your graveyard. If that card's converting mana cost is less than or equal to the number of experience counters you have, return it to the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. So let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGOTraders. If you had your house destroyed by Traxos, you can see there's there's actually a little house somewhere in the art on his back. But yeah, if you had your house, there it is, right above the little arm right there where his little claws are. There's a little house right there. If you had your house destroyed by Traxos, hey, make sure you leave Traxos a 5-star review for his demolition crew. He likes to destroy neighborhoods, and here at MTGOTraders, we want to make sure that Traxos gets all the reviews that he may need. And then our opponent is going to get in for 1 with that Caustic Cattle. All right, so we do not hit another land, but we're going to be down for treasure map, so let's go for that. That's going to be treasure map, and then actually Mystic Forge is pretty nice, and then anything else passes back over to our opponent. But yes, also quick shout out to inkgaming.com/Jolt. You can get a play mat while you're over there and help the channel at the same time, which is very nice for you, very nice for me. Always appreciate that. And started a Patreon, so if you'd like to contribute to the Patreon, there's a link down in the description below. You get your name at the beginning or the end of the credits. You can get your hands on some cool promotional tokens, whatever that may be. Hey, there's a link down in the description below. So much obliged if you do decide to check that out and contribute to my Patreon. So, but if you're keeping score at home, and it's officially free time, let's have some fun. Now, with my computer, I talked about it on yesterday's video. I'm pretty sure. I think that's what. Yeah. Talked about it yesterday. Somebody said it might be the power supply, and I'm thinking that might be it, because I did end up cleaning the computer out, and it did make a difference, because it was just like, whoa, it was extremely dirty. When I say dirty, it was just really dusty. Let me put it that way. We have a dog and a cat in the house, and sometimes that does happen. But yeah, I think it's somebody. Where were they? I'm trying to give them credit. It was Joel Holloway. They said, pretty sure it's your power supply going bad. And then now that I think about it, I think that is it, because there's a lot of dust in there. That is a contributing factor, because the other day it just did randomly shut off again. So maybe we were, I know my way around a computer. I'm not like a computer expert as far as the internal parts of a computer, but it definitely wasn't operating as good as it needed to with all that dust on there, and so I got that cleaned out, but I still am thinking something wrong with the power supply. So let's get a Scurry 1 real quick. There's not really much we're doing for 3 anyway, so might as well get a landmark. Yeah, definitely going to put that on the bottom for right now, because we need some land. Ooh, Mana Crypt. That's better than a land. We'll take it. Let's go Mana Crypt. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. I don't think there's anything else that we can go for, but that really does, oh man, makes a huge difference to rip that Mana Crypt. So we can go Mystic Forge next turn, which is going to allow us to look at the top card. Oh, yeah. You may cast the top card of your library if it's an artifact card or a colorless non-land card. So that's going to be pretty good. But we are looking at 3 right now, and so we will go and pass the turn to our opponent. But yeah, the frustrating thing about the problem with the computer is, if you didn't see that video yesterday, is that it randomly restarts. And so typically it's kind of like when I've got a little bit of a heavier workload going on my computer. And so let's say that I'm recording a game of Magic, and we get to about the 15-minute mark, and then it decides to turn off. It's very frustrating. It's like sitting down to play a game of Commander with your buddy, and then somebody just walks in with a door to nothingness and just says, I win the game. You're like, wait, the rules don't apply that way. You can't do that. And they're like, no, so look at the card. It says I win the game, or target player loses the game. So, and then you, for some reason, can't answer their claim. So anyway, that's what it's like playing with the power supply. I'm thinking it's a power supply, so that's what I'm looking at right now, is for that. So all right, so Caterpillar did go back to their hand, so they've got an entire board of things to choose from, but we're definitely probably going to see that Mana Crypt. That's a hungry little caterpillar over there, and then we run a Deserted Temple, so that's good. So that's going to be a land drop. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 total mana. At this point, we could go Batter Skull if we wanted to. That might force the Caustic Caterpillar line of play, and then also allow us to kind of get in some pretty good pressure on our opponent. Because really what we want to do is we want to keep Mana Crypt up. But that does bring them back for the experience counter. So I'm not super wild about that. I guess what we can do... Let's give old Mystic Forge a shot, because at the very least, if they end up blowing up Mana Crypt, we have Mystic Forge that's going to allow us to kind of start cycling through some stuff on top of our library. All right, so that's going to be a Not of This World. And yeah, well, actually, now that's 7 mana. That's going to be pretty rough. Well, we could save it for Traxos. If we want to keep Traxos around, yeah, let's go and leave that on top. That might be kind of a good little surprise play against our opponent. I don't know. We'll think about it. But anyway, going to be ordering a new power supply a little bit later on today. And I do have my production assistant, Loretta, with me. So she's being a very good production assistant. She's kicking right now because I just talked to her. So that's always nice. And also, if you don't know, I know people watch my videos at random intervals and different things like that. Loretta is our daughter, my wife and I's daughter. Oh, yeah, I know. Yes, you are. And she just turned, she's going to be 4 months in 2 days. So it's been a very fun ride. I don't know. It's been pretty neat. I'm really enjoying it. All right, so opponent's going to go Reclamation Sage on Universal Solvent. Yeah, that's okay. We do have Treasure Map. Do we really want to leave Not of This World on top of our library? Yeah, the more I think about it, I'm just not super wild about that. So let's go Mystic Forge. We're going to exile Mystic Forge and then get that out of the way, and that's going to keep us open on going for something like Treasure Map. But if we just keep getting this vicious cycle of Caustic Caterpillar and Reclamation Sage, that might be pretty rough. So let's go ahead and put that on the bottom. Inventor's Fair. Yeah, that's a land, so we'll take that. That'll work. And so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that'll be 6 with the land drop from Inventor's Fair. That'll be Dreamstone Hedron. Yeah, I like that. We can do that. Okay. So, let's get this passed over to our turn. We are looking at Meren swinging across, and we're only down to 23, so hopefully we just don't get... Let's choose Tails of this Mana Crypt. Won the flip. Yeah, I know. It's Tails never fails, baby. Let's go for Inventor's Fair. So that's going to be the land. Do we want to end up casting Karn, or do we want to exile that? So if we end up going Dreamstone Hedron, that's going to be 3 mana. If we end up going for Karn... And you know what I think? If we want to kind of cause some issues for our opponent... We could go for Ugin. Yeah, let's just rip a Batter Skull. I feel like that's going to be Caustic Caterpillar. And actually, let's do this. I'm not really feeling Karn. Let's go and exile Karn at this point. And then once we get 3 or more landmark counters on Treasure Map, that's going to get us to flip and get a little bit of extra mana. So I think that might end up working out. So let's go ahead and exile Karn. Karn would be nice at this point. But yeah, it's just kind of one of those... It's kind of a clunky board state. I'm not super wild about going for Karn. So we're going to scribe 1. And the main thing is, yeah, we're going to get that flip. So we're going to put that on top of our library. That's going to be some good treasure tokens right there. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 8 mana now, which is kind of where we want to be. So let's go for Mere Battlesphere. Now that's going to be Mere Battlesphere, and then with the Shrine of the Forsaken Gods, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're at 5, and that will be 6. We'll actually get that online sometime soon. So, but let's just go Mere Battlesphere at this point. That way we can kind of flood the board state with some tokens, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. But yeah, one of the downsides to trying to record with that is just like... like I mentioned, it's just like a random door to nothingness sometimes, and it's just like pretty rough. So what I have to do with the videos now is, at least at this point, I'm just like, once we get to about 10-minute chunks, I stop the recording button, then hit the recording button again, and that way, if I have something to salvage, I can. But at this point, it's just trying to make sure we got a video. So if you do see this video and there's not a clear ending, it's just like, hey, I'm recording in the mornings right now until I get this power supply. But hopefully, it should be kind of okay. But yeah, with this Traxos deck, let's talk about Traxos. We haven't played Traxos in a while. With Traxos, this is not necessarily Volt. Yeah, I know, baby. It's not Voltron. Not at all. It's just kind of artifact good stuff. You can see Mirror Battlesphere over there. Little baby girl, she wanted to get some of those little mirrors, a little baby mirror. That she saw the mirror, and she said, "Give me that. I want my own mirrors." And so she's going to be her own little Loretta Battlesphere as mirrors fall off of her. But yeah, this is basically just kind of like good stuff artifact decks. You know, I think I did it. I ended up adding Mirror Works to the deck. We have Blink Moth Urn. Really, it's just kind of, there's not a clear synergy other than this is like, these are the good artifact cards that I own. So there you go. We're not going to let that Rex Sage die because we don't want to have that keep coming in and out of the graveyard at this point. So we'll just take that too. And that's going to be Caustic Caterpillar coming back out. So, all right. So we got the Mana Crypt trigger. That's going to be Inventor's Fair. We're going to gain 1 life because we do have those artifacts. Yes, indeed. We will take that. That's going to put us up to 21. It's going to choose Tails on that one. Lost the flip. And then that's going to, ooh, there we go. Mirrorworks is on top. So, and I really do like the thought of going Mirrorworks. I think that's going to be, I think that sounds like a pretty good plan. Now, if we end up going Mirrorworks, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've got 9 total mana. The only downside with going for Mirrorworks is we're not going to be able to cast it. And so, so if we end up going 6, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be 3. That can still allow us to go for Dreamstone Hedron. I think that sounds pretty good. Yeah, let's give that a shot because if we end up going Mirrorworks, because I kind of want this to stick, because this Mirrorworks is definitely a wonderful way for us to kind of get past a lot of that removal over there. So let's go Dreamstone Hedron. We're going to go for Traxos, and Traxos is just kind of going to be a sacrificial. Some bait for that Caustic Caterpillar. So let's have a whole Traxxas. Kind of weird to just have some bait for a caterpillar, but that's kind of what we're doing at this point right now. Traxxas than anything else, we're going to pass the turn. But yeah, with them having 2 options to destroy our artifacts and us having just a completely artifact deck, it's going to work out that if we can get Mirrorworks to stick, you know, maybe they force the Caustic Caterpillar on Traxxas, maybe they run out of mana. If we can have a Mirrorworks option to where we can just keep dropping in artifacts and paying 2 mana to make a copy of it, kind of makes it hard for, a little bit harder for them to keep up with our blood state, or not blood state, our board state, if they start sacrificing a bunch of, I guess a blood state is kind of a metal way to describe it too. That could definitely be a way to work. Okay, so that's going to be Caustic Caterpillar on Traxos. So they do end up going for Traxos. We'll see if they have anything else to cast for the turn. They've got 4 mana available right now. That's going to send Traxos back to the command zone. One of the good things about Traxos being you know, this is definitely one of those decks to where you could just put like Karn, or not Karn. You could put something like one of the Eldrazi's as the commanders of the deck. But I just really enjoy Traxos because there are some times to where if you go for Traxos and you get off to a really nice start. Let's say you have Mishra's Workshop or something like that. You have Traxxas come down, and it's a 7/7 with trample. And so just next thing you know, it's like turn 5, and you're like, a good game, commander damage. So I don't know. It's just always a good feeling. All right, so we got our opponent swinging in for 3. We're going to take it again. That's going to put us down to 15. And then anything else. Now, we do have Inventor's Fair. That's going to allow us to... Yeah, we can pop... Because if we want to Inventor's Fair for some removal, we certainly can, but we're going to have to do that after they go for the Caterpillar. Yeah, we'll just wait on that. So it's going to be Caterpillar back on the battlefield. Let's go Mana Crypt trigger and then Inventor's Fair. And hopefully we don't whiff on this one. That would be actually pretty good. Lost the flip. Okay, so that does put us down to 13. And then that's going to be Mirrorworks. So with Mirrorworks, yeah... I know, baby. I'm excited to get some double artifacts. Yeah, let's just give it a shot. Let's go Mirrorworks. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. And Everflowing Chalice is nice, but let's go ahead and exile Everflowing Chalice, see if we can't find some sort of threat to go for. Bless you, baby. Ooh, Pilgrim's Eye. Okay, so with Pilgrim's Eye, that's going to give us some extra mana for... Because we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, we do have 7 mana, so we can actually pay the 2 for... Yeah, let's do that. Let's go Batterskull. That's going to be Treasure Token. We're going to sacrifice that. And then next turn, we can go for Pilgrim's Eye. All right, so we're going to have Batterskull enter the battlefield. That should be Mystic Forge trigger. That is correct. Let's go for the Mirrorworks trigger. Oh, yeah, look at this. Get some double Batterskulls. I'm digging that. There we go. Got a 4/4, got 2 germ tokens, got some really nice mirror tokens over there. And we could, if we wanted to, we could swing in with our mirrors, but at this point, I think what we're going to do is we're simply just going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. Because if we swing in for 1, we're just 2 of them are going to run into Meren and Golgari, and then they get an extra experience counter off of Caustic Caterpillar. So that's not something that we're too excited to see, to be honest. I mean, that's one of the fun things about Traxos is the way we got this set up is, did they target the mirror work? Yeah, they targeted the mirror works. Okay. We got some extra value out of it. That's what matters. We will try to... Now, they're basically going to be able to keep picking apart our board state with that Caterpillar. So we might end up having to go for... I think we've got... some removal, some graveyard spot. I think Soul Guide Lantern. I think we have Soul Guide Lantern. That's one of the ways that we can deal with some of the stuff in the graveyard. So that's going to be Jared. We're going to lose a little bit on this one. Actually, let's let them go through this turn and see what's going to happen. And so depending on which one they decide to bring back, we'll probably see Caustic Caterpillar come back. Or no, excuse me, Reclamation Sage, because they can just target the Batterskull token. And if that's the case, that kind of does help us out. We may want to set up a scenario to where we can catch both of them in the graveyard if we can. And that would really help out. But they do decide to target our one of our Batterskulls. So yeah, that's perfectly fine. They actually target the real one. That way if we tried... Oh, I know! If they try to target the other one, then we can't bring it back to our hand, which is kind of a bummer. So let's go. Let's get the Mana Crypt trigger on the stack. That's going to be Inventor's Fair. Go up to 11s. Hopefully we don't lose whiff on this one, because that one... Oh, lost the flip. My goodness. Okay, that's going to be Pilgrim's Eye and then Waste on top of our library. So let's go ahead and go Inventor's Fair at this point. All right, and that's going to be Worn Power Stone on top of our library. Let's go Soul Guide Lantern. And it enters the battlefield. We're going to exile Caustic Caterpillar out of the graveyard. Definitely get that bad boy out of there. And then the cool thing about Soul Guide Lantern is that we're going to be able to at least go for the activated ability to give it a Rec Sage if they do end up sacrificing it, which is going to be a very good option for us. So at this point, we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 total mana. And I think, yeah, we just end up going Pilgrim's Eye, just to kind of get back, just having another body on the battlefield, and at the same time, just making sure that we make the land drop, because we do want to get this shrine going. So let's search our library for a basic land. Ooh, and that's going to be the Immortal Sun. All right, so it's going to be Waste on the battlefield, and then anything else. We're simply just going to go, well, we could go ahead and swing in with the Germ Token. Yeah, that's going to be good. All right, let's go and swing in for 4. That's going to give us a much needed lifelink on this one. All right, it's going to put them down to 26. We go back up to 12, kind of dodging that Mana Crypt trigger. And then anything else, we will pass the turn. Now, we do have the Immortal Sun on top of our library. That does sound like a pretty good option. So we're not really worried about any sort of Planeswalkers from our opponent. But getting that reduced cost, that Anthem effect, and getting an extra card draw, that is something that in a game like this can make a huge difference as far as trying to get a bunch of artifacts going on our side of the battlefield. So that's going to be Barter and Blood. Each player sacrifices 2 creatures. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so we'll sacrifice, I guess, we'll just get rid of 2 mirror tokens. And then... yeah, I guess we just still end up going for the activation real quick. Exile each opponent's graveyard. That way we can get rid of Reclamation Sage, Satyr, Wayfinder. I'm not sure why they seek. Okay, there we go. All right, so we get rid of it. So the coast is not necessarily clear, but it does feel very good now. And it's a nice way to Quit getting picked apart by a caterpillar and an elf over there. So that does feel pretty good. So we've got the Immortal Sun that we're definitely going to end up going for next turn. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, and we've got a ton of mana to go for that. Now that we do have Ugin, we have the -3 option. That's going to allow us to start to go for Gerard or even Meren. We can start kind of clean some of those up. We might end up going for Gerard, I think, on this one. So. All right, so let's go and choose Tails on this Mana Crypt trigger. But yeah, and that's one of the fun things about playing Traxos, or just kind of just playing a good stuff deck like this, is that it's just kind of, I don't know, just kind of see what sort of board state you can develop. So, all right, and that's going to be Urza's Tower on top of our library. But yeah, let's just go and go for the Immortal Sun. I think that sounds like a pretty good plan. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. And if we can get Tron going, oh. We do have Tron in here, so if we can get Tron online, that does sound like a pretty good plan. And then Ugin's going to be... I think we can still cast Ugin, yeah, because it's going to cost one less. Oh, look at this. This is just beautiful. All right, so we get Ugin. We know Tron's on top of our library. Do we want to go for the -3? Oh, excuse me. Things... Got to pay attention. Let's see. Let's go and swing in with the germ token. And I guess we might as well just go and swing in with the whole crew. Yeah, so I got down the Immortal Sun, and I just completely forgot that Planeswalker abilities can be activated. I was like, all right, we're going to go for Ugin to do that. So that's one of the downsides to giving commentary and playing at the same time. Sometimes stuff like that happens. So once we connect for this 5 with this Germ Token, we're in a very good spot. Yeah, I know, baby. That lifelink makes a huge difference. So that's going to put them down to 15, us up to 17, and that's going to allow us to slowly kind of take over from here. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Now, if they do have some sort of destroy all artifacts or something like that, we'd definitely be in a bad spot. But we've got Urza's Tower going down next turn. That's going to turn on Shrine of the Forsaken Gods, and then we could always kind of Mystic Forge our way into something else. The good thing about the Immortal Sun is we're going to get that extra card draw, and that's pretty much what we're looking for right now. So, all right, Poto's going to go for Diabolic Tutor. And we're not sure what they searched up. I mean, if they're running mass artifact destruction, that is a bummer, huge bummer. But we just got to play around like it's not. I mean, if they grabbed a board wipe, so be it. You know, that would be damnation. But we're not really seeing anything right now. Let's see if they cast anything during their second main phase. From Beyond. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's going to be just some little colorless tokens on the battlefield. So we can definitely survive that. Okay, so let's go and choose Tails on this Mana Crypt trigger. There we go. Lost the flip. And then, so this could be Urza's Tower. Ooh, and that's going to be Karn. Yes, 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 yes. We do need to do something with the Immortal Sun now, because now we've gotten to the point to where, with the Planeswalkers in this deck, it is funny, but let's go ahead and go Mystic Forge. Just exile the top card of our library. I know, baby. Loretta's mad that we have 2 Planeswalkers and Immortal Sun on the battlefield. And I'm like, I totally get it, baby. All right, so we're going to cast that for 1. That's going to be Arcane Encyclopedia. Yeah, and we've got to find a way to deal with the Immortal Sun, because this deck has like 3 Planeswalkers, and we normally never see them when we all have on top of our library. So is there any way we can... Oh, man. Get rid of this. Sacrifice, draw a card, token... We can draw 3 cards of Dreamstone Hedron. We've got Ugin on top. I mean, yeah, I guess we just try to end up going Traxxas. So anyway, let's go and swing in with the Germ Token first. We're going to get that Vigilance going. We'll still go and swing in with Pilgrim's Eye and then Germ Token. And then I guess we'll just hold up the 2 Mirror Tokens, because if we do end up getting Ugin on the battlefield, I think we're okay with that. So, all right. So we're going to go and swing in for 5. That's going to put them down to 10. That's going to put us back up to 18. There we go. Yeah, and I guess we just cast Ugin. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this, basically, there's a lot of... Okay, Mirage Mirror, that's going to be good. And then I guess we still end up going Karn if we want to. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then once we find a way to deal with this, then we will... we'll do something about that. So let's have Karn come down, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turns. We got to reach Sanitarium on top of our library, and then we'll go and pass it back over there. So, but yeah, the way this deck normally plays out is the Immortal Sun is kind of a way that we can... You know, there are some times where you build a commander deck and you have to have conflicting strategies in your deck. You know, there are a lot of times to where a planeswalker, I know, baby. There's a lot of times where a planeswalker on a board state, um, you know, something like Ugin, like this Ugin right here, it's nice. You know, it's just kind of something that we can dirtle with. Oh. Things I was not expecting, in Guruk's Wake. Okay, destroy all creatures you don't, and planeswalkers you don't. Yep, that's, after we just dumped it all out. Alright, so their opponent's got the in Guruk's Wake, and, just got owned right there. That was... oh, that hurts. Alright, so we've got Mirage Mirror. At the very least, we can Mirage Mirror... the Immortal... no, it's a legendary artifact. We can still equip Batterskull, which is nice. We can equip that onto something next turn. But, oh man, that hurts. That's a rough one, pal. That stings the nostrils. Alright, so let's see if they're going to swing in. We can catch something with Mirage Mirror. Alright, so that's just simply just going to be... return it, equip for 5. Yeah, we're just going to go and let that go on through. It's gonna put us down to 15, and yeah, to be honest, like, sorry if that if we overextended right there. I don't feel like we overextended. I just feel like we were setting up an option of just deploying all this stuff out, and I just really wasn't expecting a one-sided, you know, in Gurk's Wake. So I mean, there's just sometimes in Magic where you can anticipate things, and I just did not see that one coming from a mile away. So there we go. We definitely don't want to have that. So let's go ahead and use Mystic Forge to exile the top card of our library, because Larry David's Disc isn't really going to do much. And then Not of This World. So I actually do kind of like that. So I'm going to be able to draw into Not of This World. And then, so we end up going Traxos. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the good thing about us going for Traxos is that we can actually put Batterskull onto Traxos, so let's do that. Okay, so we've got a lifelink 12/12, so we're going to have our opponent block next turn. Let's make the land drop for the turn. That's going to be a Gaia Reach Sanitarium, and then anything else. So we got Mirage Mirror, and actually... I guess technically we could have Mirage Mirrored and then Batterskulled... on no, I don't know if we would have had enough mana for that. Either way, we've got Not of This World that's going to be able to protect us from any sort of you know, spell or ability that wants to target a permanent that we control. So we've got the Lifelink and Vigilance, so that should set us up next turn to where we can really kind of hopefully close this one out, especially if they don't swing in. Or if they do swing in, that'll really make it a lot easier, but we still should be able to kind of power through that one. We've got some extra card draw, so we've got Arcane Encyclopedia to cash in some extra card draw. We've got Mirage Mirror next turn to become a copy of something like Meren if we want to do that, and we've got a couple different options that hopefully allow us to kind of push past that, especially with our opponent sitting at 9 life total and having a huge creature with trample. That's a pretty nice feeling. So about the only thing we don't want to see is going to be a board wipe. So they've got targeted spot removal, Moldavine Reclamation, okay, but yeah, if they're banking on some spot removal, then Not of This World is going to be a very good option for us. Oh, no. Unless they... oh, no, actually, we can go Mirage Mirror. Okay, good. Okay, so we're going to let that go on through. That's going to be Merciless Executioner, and let's go Mirage Mirror. And we're just going to make a copy of... I guess at this point, we'll just make a copy of Gerard, because I like Golgari. I don't really feel like... well, maybe. We might get an experience counter with Meren, and that might make a difference, so... let's do that. So we're going to do, make a copy of Meren. And that's going to give us an extra creature on the battlefield. That way we're not losing out on Traxos, which is very important to us. So we need Traxos to stick around. Now, the only downside is, I just now remembered, they're going to have... oh, no, excuse me. They didn't send Merciless to the graveyard. They just actually sacrificed that token. So that's perfect. So that's going to leave a 3/1. Because I was thinking they could bring it back at the end step. But that is good for us. So that's going to be 1 life gain, and they're going to cash in a card draw. Okay, so this is definitely an interesting game. And then we still do have enough mana. Oh, no, we do have Inkmoth Nexus. So even if they did end up going for Merciless Executioner, we still had Inkmoth Nexus as an opportunity to get rid of that. So, all right, they're going to be swinging in for 3. That's going to put us up to 11. or down to 11. That's going to be 3 total commander damage. So let's go ahead and, yeah, I guess we can just go and go for an Arcane Encyclopedia option. Yeah, that'll be good. So let's go for the Encyclopedia. We're going to draw a card, draw into Blasted and Landscape, and actually getting just an extra body on the battlefield at this point is going to be very nice. And the fact that it's an artifact. We're going to choose Tails on this Mana Crypt trigger and lost the flip. And it's going to get Traxos to unflip, and then ooh. We're 2/3 of the way through Tron right now, if you didn't notice. So we definitely need to get Traxos unflip. So let's do this. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3. And then we'll actually, yeah, there we go. So that's going to unflip Traxos. That's going to allow us to grab a basic land. We still should have one more waste in the in our library. So yes, definitely need to do that. Let's grab waste, and then that's going to be Stone Coil Serpent. Reach protection from multicolored, enters the battlefield with X+1 counters on it. We don't really have any hasty options at this point right now. So let's go Urza's Mind. And I guess that would work out, but let's just go and swing in with Traxxas. I'm trying to figure out if there's any certain way that we can really just kind of power this up. Do we want to start drawing some cards? Yeah, let's do this. So let's go ahead. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then they've got at least 3 over there. We're not going to be able to give them haste. Yeah, let's do this. Let's just see if we can't find some other just piece of something that makes Traxos just a little bit bigger. Because that's going to basically put it down to like 1 life. So let's go and rip into 3 cards because stones. Oh, there we go. Shadow Spear. Yes, yes, yes. That is exactly what we wanted. All right, so let's get Shadow Spear. We're going to have that come down, put it onto old Traxos over there. Oh, this is just beautiful. Let's get Shadow Sphere onto Traxos. That's going to be 1, 2. We'll tap down Urza. And that +1/+1, there we go. I think that's going to be just enough to close this one out. So don't need to cycle. Let's go and swing in with Traxos because, yeah, that's going to be 3 minus 12. That's going to be 10. That should be just enough swinging across. So let's go and swing in with Traxos. And that's one of the fun things, like I mentioned with this deck, is that we're not, how do I describe it? We're not going for some crazy Voltron package, but you can see where we had a lot of Planeswalkers out there earlier on. We got hit with that Ingurk's Wake, and then we're able to finally rip into Shadow Sphere, which is a new card for the deck, and then allows us to close the game out. So we'll see if they have any options for us. They've only got 1 mana at this point right now, so I guess we're looking at something like Fatal Push, but we've got Not of This World to stop that. So, and then that should be enough, because if we apply 2 and 1, minus 13. If you're keeping score at home, that should be exactly 0 once we get that command. There we go. Get them all the way down to 0. So that was kind of a little of a clunky game. I guess not necessarily clunky. It just, that Guruk's Wake hurt really bad. I'm not going to lie. That was a rough way to start the day. But anyways, hey, hopefully you have a good day. And if you enjoyed the video, hey, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.